Welcome to this 6-minute explainer where we're going to build a wholesome understanding of a topic that literally affects every single one of us, navigating the unknown. Today, we are going to completely shift your mental model of how to make good choices when the future is just impossible to predict. So if you've ever felt completely paralyzed by a big choice or, wondered why really smart people can disagree on seemingly obvious facts, well, you are definitely in the right place. Let's dive in. Think about looking at a map. On a map, the best route is simply the shortest distance. It's clean, it's calculated right, but in reality, well, unpredictable delays, traffic, and construction on the highway mean the best route is actually the one that gives you the most reliable arrival time. Decisions work exactly the same way. The hidden cost of a choice isn't just what happens when things go perfectly well, it's what happens when the real world decides not to cooperate. All right, Section 1, the illusion of certainty. Let's really look at what a good decision actually is. You see, uncertainty isn't just a matter of missing information that you can eventually go out and find. It's actually a structural feature of reality. Think of the future as a branching path. That means your decision is simply a bet on a future you cannot fully see yet. You have to choose right now, today, but the world responds later. Moving on to Section 2. Decisions are just bets. Let's look at the anatomy of a bet. The absolute crucial difference we need to understand is this. A prediction asks what you think will happen. It's like guessing the weather. But a decision asks what you should do given that you might actually be wrong. It's asking yourself, what's the minor cost of lugging around an umbrella all day versus the terrifying, soggy cost of getting completely soaked in a downpour? Imagine you're wandering through a crowded fruit bazaar. A beginner looks around for the absolute best mango. But the expert, they're asking, which mango is least likely to disappoint me? The experienced buyer is out there comparing risk profiles and optimizing for survivability. They care about the shape of all possible results, not just the most flattering absolute best-case scenario. Or think about it like carrying your water in a thin plastic bag. It's great, right? It's cheap, it's super light, until it snags on a sharp corner and you literally lose everything. Sometimes, the best choice is actually a sturdy water bottle. It's heavier, sure, but it protects against failure when the world gets messy. Because sometimes, avoiding disaster is way smarter than chasing the highest possible upside. And this brings up a really massive question you should constantly ask yourself. Does knowing more actually change what I should do? If you're checking your weather app for a second or even third time, and it's not going to change your decision to leave the house anyway, then that extra information is just noise. It has absolutely zero decision-relevant value. More data is not always better under uncertainty. Okay, Section 3, constraints and reversibility. This is where we get into messy, real-world trade-offs. Real-world decisions do not happen in a perfect vacuum. They live under severe constraints. You have limited time, you have limited money, incomplete data, pressure from other people. You never get to optimize for everything all at once. Meaning, a genuinely good decision is simply the one that uses your incredibly limited resources to cover the risks that actually matter most to you. Now, one of the absolutely biggest constraints is reversibility. A reversible choice is a lot like drawing a quick sketch. It allows for speed, small experiments, and learning by doing. No big deal if you mess up. But an irreversible choice is like carving directly into stone. It demands extreme caution, much stronger evidence, and a heavy, heavy focus on the downside. And remember, you're never just picking a clean outcome. You are choosing a bundle of properties. Think of it just like renovating a room in your house. You can choose fast, cheap, or beautiful, but you rarely get all three. Every single choice under uncertainty buys you something while giving something else up. All right, Section 4, building a resilient mindset. Let's talk about practically navigating these trade-offs. The thing is, not all uncertainty behaves exactly the same way. Identifying whether you're dealing with a known probability, a structural unknown, timing issues, or complex human interactions tells you exactly which tool to pull from your kit. For example, if you have timing uncertainty, you just need buffer time. But interaction uncertainty? That requires deep second-order thinking. And this perfectly explains why true experts can look at the exact same facts and completely rationally disagree. They might trust different underlying assumptions or just weigh bad outcomes differently. This is exactly why two brilliant doctors can look at the same medical chart and recommend completely different treatments without either of them being careless or irrational. They're just optimizing for different parts of the possible outcome.
So, how should you actually walk through this uncertainty? Definitely not with blind hesitation, or you just freeze up like a deer in headlights. When the ground is uncertain, you don't pretend it's solid, but you also don't stop entirely. You practice calibrated confidence. It's just like slowing your walking pace when you notice the floor is wet or uneven. You adjust the firmness of your belief to perfectly match the reliability of your evidence.
To help you actually do that, let's look at the first principles of good reasoning. By running literally any major decision through these 5 simple but powerful steps, like explicitly identifying what you actually control and honestly mapping out the downside, you expose the true structure of the problem. This is what protects you against the biggest, most catastrophic failures. It really all boils down to this. Under uncertainty, you are not choosing the best known outcome. You are choosing the most defensible action across all possible outcomes. If you remember only one core mental model from this explainer, please let it be this paradigm shift. You are building robustness so you can survive when reality absolutely refuses to cooperate. Which brings us to our final thought today. The very next time you face a high-stakes, ambiguous choice, stop and ask yourself, are you just chasing a fantasy best-case scenario, or are you actually prepared for the reality that will truly unfold? Choose wisely.